just because I don't want to have to worry about running my troops all the way back all the time, and I want to be able to stay aggressive. So I think a spore crawler in my drone line is going to really help keep them alive. I've got another one over here. It's not going to be quite enough against 5 mutalisks, but it will slow them down considerably, and with the queen to help, it'll be good. And maybe enough to scare him off. At the very least, it'll probably give me enough time to react with my hydras no matter where he comes. In fact, here he comes to attack my my main again, and luckily my hydras move pretty quick on creep, and they're going to be able to respond here while I just keep expanding. So he's building his expansion once again. Yeah, I'm not expanding. I misspoke there. But while I just keep developing my economy by building drones. Look at this. I've got 7 drones being built right now. So he has successfully rebuilt his expansion. But it's going to take him a while before he's able to really get that up and going. If I look at income, I'm ahead by harvesters. Actually, he's ahead in harvesters. Wow. Amazing. So I guess I haven't been building quite as much. I've been building more of a military, I suppose. And I may have lost a couple to his mutas. I'm not sure. A little bit strange now. But actually building overlords because I'm supply capped. Moving up here, so I've got my front line of roaches and I've got my back line of hydras, able to snipe an overlord there and almost supply block him. So I'm going to be able to, again, really easily take down this expansion. So he's not going to be able to get a lot of value out of it, so that's really good. And clean up his zerglings that come in, destroy that. Now, how is he going to react? Where are his mutas? I'm quite confused. So I clean up this expansion completely, and I should be running into this base right now. Yeah, okay, I've started moving that way. He's actually got a spine crawler in the way, and I should micro my guys out of the choke point. Just scooch forward here. Oh, banelings! He's built a baneling list, and he's going to try to counter with that. I feel like I may have played against this guy before. He may have rushed me with banelings in a previous game, which actually defeated me quite effectively. But here baneling's not going to be quite as effective. My troops here have a good number of hit points. I mean, they do pretty good. They do bonus versus light, which the hydralisks are, although the roaches are not. And it is pretty effective at taking out my hydras there. And I'm going to be forced to run away, I think. Yeah, there I go. But I now have more harvesters than him. I've been using that time to expand my economy some more. Clearly not using my energy very good on the queen. She's almost maxed here. Oh, and I've been reinforcing my troops. I think I have my rally points from my... Yeah, I have my rally points from my hatcheries over here. So I was just continuously building troops and sending them over here. So with 4 or 6... I got 6 hydras in there? I guess so. Well, this is a pretty good attack on his part. Luckily, I got a couple hydras come in to reinforce and take these guys down, no problem. How am I on upgrades? I've actually got no upgrades yet. But this is pretty much going to be game here. I'm not sure what he can do to counter. I'm pretty sure this is going to kill virtually all of his drones. Let's see. Yeah, he's actually done a considerable amount of damage to my roaches in general, but I mean, why doesn't he just give up now? He's got a handful of mutas popping. Actually, a good number of mutas popping. It's interesting that he built a second hatchery here. I've never done this before, but I suppose the fact that I kept destroying his hatchery, he needed more larvae, so building a second one within the base does make some sense, and I should keep that in mind in future games. He is actually able to eliminate my force there, which is too bad for me, and I'm going to pull back with my hydras here because I don't want to engage this relatively big group of mutas. We got 7 mutas. Yeah, 7 mutas. I don't want to engage them sort of piecemeal like this, even though I didn't catch all of my troops, because remember the rally point was far over to the east. So they are able to catch a few people, but I'm going to be able to counter here with a big troop of hydras. Too big for him to counter. He's going to try to wrap around, I think, and attack my base, but I've got my spore crawler there. In fact, I built a second spore crawler here, and I've got my queen. He's not really going to be able to do much. And meanwhile, since I'm feeling fairly secure that even if he did break through, it would take virtually everything he had, I'm going to send my attack troops. But look at the mobility that the Mutalisks have. He's able to just come right back to try to counter my attack. He's actually going to walk right through my Overlord, which may have been rallied weirdly. But my troop of Hydras will easily beat his Mutas. No problems at all. Just camp out here and take apart his Mutaforce. A couple of Zerglings, and he GG's, and that is game. So I found that one pretty darned exciting. Hope you liked it. Let's see. Let's go right into quit this replay. I think I've saved another couple here. And ZvZ, ZvT. There we go. Let's play a ZvT. I got Zergling rushed. Well, that's Zerg on Zerg. Let's do a ZvT just to change things up. But yeah, so many of my replays were ZvZ, even though there doesn't seem to be that many of them in the league. So it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a shorter game here. Honestly, and the thing is, some of the replays I've saved, I have lost, so I don't know the outcome of these games. I knew I won the last one because I just played it, but I don't recall what the hell happens in this game at all. So I'm playing a Terran, I'm playing against Thug. And this map here, what's it called? Blistering Sands, I think? I don't have the map names memorized. It's very interesting because the bases by flying distance are actually relatively close, but to rush is a long way around because you've got to come... How do you move the map? Oh, yeah, with the middle mouse button. You've got to come out of your base downwards and then loop around, and it's quite a long way across. And then even on the other side, you've got to come around from this way. So ground rushes are not really an option, and being Terran, I expected him to wall off, and in fact that's what he starts doing. So I know that there's not really going to be much point in a Zergling harass. That being said, what I could see coming, because I've seen that happen before, is he may build Reapers and come after me with Reapers. I have definitely seen Terrans do that on this map, and it's actually a little harder than it used to be, I think, during the beta. I think this ground reached all the way here, so the Reapers should just come across or something. But they do have to come across now to over here. And they can come in this way into your base and then start harassing your supply line, and they can do a considerable amount of damage. So, in fact, didn't I do a replay Terran versus Terran on this map before in the practice match? I think I did, actually. So my apologies for that, although maybe that was the one without sound. So I think that guy harassed me with Reapers. So, in Standard, I believe that was a 14 pool, and I'm not planning on doing any expansion on this map. It's just too hard to defend your expansion, because this is your natural here, but it's got two choke points, one here and one over here, which is actually quite a wide ramp. The only real choke point you've got is from your main here. So on this map, I tend to count on just defending my main. So I've got an early extractor coming up here. Well, relatively early for me. I think it was a 15 or 16 extractor, probably a 16 extractor. I've got my queen underway, and hopefully I'll move some guys over to gas. There we go. 3 guys on gas, and I'm not sure what my plan is for them yet. So he's walled off complete with a barracks, does not yet have a tech lab or reactor lab. This is a supply depot. I remember coming here and scouting with my overlord and thinking, Jesus, has he built turrets already? But no, it's a supply depot he's using for visibility, which is a very good idea. He hasn't picked up gas yet, and I haven't actually scouted this. If I were smart, I'd remember, on this map that Terrans would probably have their Marines stacked up over here, so I could probably afford to sneak an Overlord. Oh no, I do have an Overlord here, at least to check out, see if he's got any gas, although I probably can't see it from there. Yeah, I got to scooch it up a little bit more, and that will really tell me a little bit about what to expect. So obviously a lot of Marines at this point. And no Reapers, so I would know I wouldn't have to worry about Reapers, and the question at this point is, have I built any Zerglings? No, but I've got a few in production because of that nervousness, which is really stupid, and I'd get plenty of warning if he started to move out for me to build some Zerglings and defend there, so that was a little bit of a waste. Built some extra gas here, and I've got an early lair morphing. So what I'm going to be looking to do is a couple of things. If he goes at me with heavy marine, I would want roaches to defend against that. But if he's incorporating marauders, and in fact I should be, wow, look at this, 5 barracks, 5 racks, and currently all marine. And if I was properly scouting this, I would know that I would want a roach lair ASAP and use roaches to defend against this. But I do not. I do have my lair now, and what am I going to build? I'm going to start on a spire, because I like, this map is very, very good to air, because the air distance is quite short. It also gives you a counter if they do go Marauder and Siege Tanks. You can go and just hit them with mutas and win. But of course, if it's heavy Marine like this, that's not going to work so much. And I do need roaches. Interesting. He still doesn't have gas. How is he doing here? Income-wise, he's a little bit behind on harvesters, but that's pretty normal with Terran because he can supplement it with these mules. He doesn't need quite as many harvesters. He does have a slight oversupply on minerals, but not much. No, there he goes, all spending it. And now that he's got so many barracks, he can just mass these Marines. Very interesting, although it's strange that he doesn't have gas. I would really see that as being quite nice. But he is building a big Marine force. And what am I up to? Well, I've got a good number of Zerglings blocking the choke here. Because I am planning to go air and then move them that way. The combination of Zerglings and Mutas is pretty good, I find. It's less so against Terran. It's really good against Protoss. Terran, I don't know, they both sort of get wiped out by Marines. I mean, enough Zerglings will do the Marines just fine, and I probably have the speed upgrade at this point, don't I? Actually, almost I do. But the hope is I may be able to do a two-pronged attack. Oh, speaking of attack, here he comes. I may be able to do a two-pronged attack, air in the base, and then Zerglings in the expansion. So here he comes with a whole lot of Marines. And I did see this happening with my Overlord, so I've actually dropped a Spine Crawler right here. To help me against this attack. I've got a lot of Zerglings, but they don't really behave that well in a choke. They'll be at a slight disadvantage. But I've moved forward here just to buy some time for my Spine Crawler to complete, because I don't want to start taking damage, and did a little bit, but there you go. So now my Zerglings are holding the choke, while my Spine Crawler is really helping deal a lot of extra damage. I am going to lose all my Zerglings here, but I've got Mutas that come in just in time to help clean up this attack. I successfully fend off his main force. I do lose one Muta. I'm going to lose another one here if I don't micro him, and I don't micro him, but I guess I'm able to kill him just in time. I get some more Zergling to help block the choke, and he's still coming with units. And I hadn't realized he'd built so many freaking barracks. Nonetheless, I'm going to be able to hold against this too, and assuming I've got, no, I've got more Mutas, but I've got my Mutas coming over this way, and he's got no defense against me, abusing the hell out of his SUVs, and just annihilating these guys, and taking a huge economic advantage. See, he's down to 14 harvesters. Should lose some more soon here. Why is this not updating? Hello. Oh, 7 harvesters. Wow, that was weird. It just wasn't updating. While at the same time holding my choke just fine with the Spine Crawler. In fact, I'm going to add a second Spine Crawler here. I didn't need it, but the attacks had seemed pretty strong, and wasn't sure I could hold off another big troop here. I should be okay right here. Actually, no, not quite. He's going to manage to take all those guys out. Oh. And I'll probably take this Muta as well. Maybe, maybe not. There we go. Hold that off while my Mutas are still in here doing some damage, but I'm not really microing them. It is going to cost me a little bit more death. But at this point, he has 0 harvesters, and he does have just enough money to keep pumping out a few more Marines. See, this is a sign of a new player. Having that many units in queue, these guys aren't doing anything, but they are tying up your minerals. It's way better off to never have more than one in queue, or if one's just about to finish, add the other one. So it's possible that this guy's skill level was not quite up to par. This is in the Platinum League, I believe. Or, actually, now that I think about it, I believe this was my final placement match. So we hadn't yet been placed into a league, so I don't know what this guy's record actually is. But at this point, feeling pretty good. I've been using my money pretty effectively. Still building more Zerglings and Mutalisks. I got a handful of Mutas somewhere. Got some Zerglings there, but I'm going to run into a huge Marine force. And I should have just attacked with those Mutas because they were going down no matter what. I'm going to be able to run my Zerglings away because they've got that speed and come back here and rehold my choke point. But now I know for a fact that I can hold my choke, and I know that he doesn't have much in the way of money. So all I've got to do is hold off against this final attack, which is going to be no problem. I'm going to absolutely 100% destroy his entire attack force here. There's his Marines there. He's got a few more reinforcements coming in sort of piecemeal. And I'm going to have no problems wiping out this force. Just repositioning one of my Spine Crawlers here. And here we go. That wipes out the last of his units, and he leaves the game. GG! So yeah! Well, maybe we'll do another one. I'm kind of in the mood. Let's do... So I don't have any Protoss ones? Oh! This one's Protoss. That one too. That one's from earlier. That was probably a placement match. There we go. I've actually saved this one, so it may have been an interesting one. Let's do a Protoss match.